Good morning. For those of you that are not familiar with the Hearst Corporation, Hearst are one of the world's most diverse media, information and services business, founded in 1887 from a single newspaper, now in 360 separate markets across 150 businesses. I represent our magazine publishing division, specifically our digital business. And I'm here today to share a little bit about how we have successfully and still continue to transform from an analog print subscription advertiser funded based business to a digital content provider in the service of storytelling. And like most traditional publishers, Hearst also tried to bury our heads in the sand when it came to this consumer shift towards digital. And, you know, we all entered the game late, and we failed consistently, and we failed. And then we failed again until really it was enough and we had no other option. This was our last chance, and our philosophy became, and I would advise anyone here who is currently going through or thinking about embarking on this type of transformation that really affects your customers to think about it in this way. You don't have to be first. It's okay. It's okay to be late. But as my very wise Irish grandmother would say, if you are going to show up late to a party, you better show up best dressed. So I can only speak from our experiences of, you know, what we went through. But for us, and I feel for most businesses, it really starts and ends with culture. You can invest as much as you want in technology, in systems, in consultants. But really, if the organization isn't ready or incentivized to really, truly change from the leadership to the fabric of the business, it won't work. And that's exactly what we saw. Our technology, our systems, our processes all had to change. We had to become more nimble to new revenue models as they opened up to us and challenged our legacy of process, of ways of operating. Our culture really had to evolve while trying to stay true to our mission, which is to inform and entertain and inspire our audiences. And the first problem that we had is that our entire organization lives in the future, and not in a good way, not in the technology way. As the publisher of monthly titles, you know, we're constantly talking to people a month ahead. So, you know, you buy your September issue in August. You know, where there are tastemakers that are telling you what you should be wearing next season. You know, where are the holiday hotspot destinations you'd be booking next year. Where are the trendy new restaurants you're going to be eating in next month. And that is the way we had been communicating for years. And the issue is that the internet does not work that way. The mobile web is all about now and instant gratification. And our systems and our processes and our culture are built around how people used to communicate. So we initiated this company-wide movement, which we call From Months to Moments, where we had to learn to be in the moment with our new customers, with our customers. Our audiences were starting to turn to platforms like Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat for them to provide the immediacy that they were demanding. And for brands like Harper's Bazaar, which I just showed you on the last slide, which are 150 years old this year, that was a seismic change in their approach, in the way they do things and how they see things. I mean, that culture shift in itself is a whole other presentation that I like to call digital cell rejection. But that's exactly what we went through. So the first thing that we did was rip up our organization and build out new technology and systems. And the change really started for us with a unified digital platform. We built a proprietary operating system called Media OS. And the game changer for us was really the centralization of the process. And this is the front end of Cosmopolitan. And, you know, this has 40 services attached from a specific CMS that allows people to edit content, fix pictures, manipulate videos, host a gigantic library that manages all our pictures, assets, where we can pull and syndicate from globally. Our reporters can collaborate in real time, and it hosts all of our data in one place. So we were observing, for example, and I'm not making this up, so Taylor Swift or a Kardashian would change their hair color, or the Duchess of Cambridge would try a new hemline or announce she was having a baby, and life on Earth would stop, and particularly for us. And in the past, we would have to write about this across 24 titles. Everyone had their own version. It made no sense. It was completely nuts. So we connected our efforts to write maybe one article in the CMS where we could quickly change header, image, language, and adopt to create an efficient approach to production without compromising the voice of our brands, which is really key, and it's why it keeps our consumers engaged. And now 21 titles can run like a simple property, which allows us to create content with much more velocity to serve our hungry audiences. This from really our monolithic system that basically did nothing and everything, made it much more efficient for our editors and our journalists and our copywriters and our image makers to work together. And then we created a tool which we call Buzzing, which is a tool that ranks every single piece of content that we publish every single 5 seconds against performance. And any editor around the world can see what's doing well and take that content and quickly modify it and adapt it for their channel. This makes us much more sophisticated when it comes to data. Data now powers every part of our editorial process. And our editors have moved from just thinking about content to thinking about how content moves, really thinking about the distribution of content, which is super key for us. Because right now, and actually for the last couple of years, people are not consuming content in the way they used to be on our websites. People don't go to Elle.com and Cosmopolitan.com every single day, but they do go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. So this is one thing we did not bury our head in the sands about. We were ready to embrace social. We are agnostic about where our readers consume our content. It's just important to us that they have a great experience on Instagram or Facebook as they do on goodhousekeeping.com or esquire.com as well. And it's up to us to monetize that experience and make it really, really utility-based and informative for our consumers. And so this has been an incredible growth accelerator for us. We've more than quadrupled our audiences in the last 3 years by not only adapting these new technologies and systems, but also embracing social and allowing our consumers to connect with us anywhere. But during the course of any transformational journey in life, it likes to throw you a few curveballs. So after a 35 to 40% increase in revenue and quadrupling of our audiences, the market shifted and sentiment towards digital platforms and online publishers began to change. Ad blocking and viewability became real issues for digital publishers, and brand safety and fake news for platforms like Facebook and Twitter raised real industry concerns and backlashes. So we had to pivot again. And this time we were ready to do it quickly. This is something that we had been talking about for a really, really long time and been planning to do. But now the market was ready, and we had the systems and we had the technology in place to be able to move fast. And so we had to switch our business model away from our core, which was advertising, banners, and buttons, to content marketing. And content marketing has many names. Some people call it native content, advertiser-funded content. We like to think about it as service storytelling. And so what we were able to do, which I call the win-win-win for readers, for advertisers, and for us, is that we were able to treat editorial content and advertiser content in the same way, and leveraging the editorial authority of our brands to help position advertisers and their products and brands better. And these are 2 examples that I absolutely think are great examples of 2 advertisers doing it really well with us. So Rolex, obviously a very well-known brand, had never actually spoken directly to women before. They do a great job at sponsoring golf and tennis, and have a great dialogue with men, but who knew women bought watches? So when they discovered this, they decided to come to the Elle platform, to be able to think about how they could garner a much deeper relationship and mind share with women. So they use the platform to tell inspiring stories of some of their female ambassadors and to be able to shift the perception that they were also a brand that cared about women. Another great example that I really like from Cosmopolitan is Dyson. Dyson make amazing vacuum cleaners and household appliances and a great engineering company, but when it comes to hair care, they don't really have any legacy or brand awareness, so they turn to the beauty editors of the Cosmopolitan magazine to give them the credibility that they need. And for us, this is great because our readers much prefer this type of service storytelling from advertisers than banners and buttons that interrupt their experience. So they get a better experience from advertisers. Advertisers get a much better engagement and value experience with the reader, and we're able to drive revenue by leveraging the tools that we have built, the expertise from our editors, and we don't interrupt that experience for our users in the same way. And I come back to culture again, because at each stage of the transformations that we've made so far and that we will continue to make as our business evolves, is the one thing that's held us together and that unites us is our culture. And I can't overstate the importance of any organization, making sure that from the leadership to the top down to your account managers, to your people that are running marketing events, that this culture of change is instilled in everyone, because the way we saw it is that if we're not changing, we're dying. And this has really helped us to evolve and adapt our services to continue to inform and entertain and inspire our readers globally. We're not finished yet. We've got a lot more ahead of us and a lot more innovation in the pipeline. But I just wanted to share with you what we've been through, and I think what a lot of publishers are currently going through when it came to the digital transformation and when we saw our customers changing and shifting and using technology in a way that we were not used to using technology. So thank you very much.